Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Football Index Fantasy Football Agents FIFA Matchday 7. Okay, so bit of a turnaround from last week where we didn't really have much to chat about in terms of IPDs. This weekend was very fruitful for us, especially that front three of Brandt, Depay and Pepe all getting right in amongst it. Depay netting us some treble match days, scoring 2 goals, Pepe scoring 2 goals, Brandt doing really well in a big Leverkusen victory, only bagging the 1 goal unfortunately, but for the IPD side of things. Milinkovic-Savic has come right back onto the scene this week as well, winning the cup final with Lazio, coming off the bench, turning the game. And then at the weekend, Monday, very similar, 3-1 down, comes off the bench, makes it 3-2, and they go and finish 3 each or something remarkable. So he's back, bang on form, 1 more game in Serie A left to go. And if he does another performance like that, then it won't be a big stretch beyond the imagination. He's going to be start getting linked with some folk again. Koulibaly went viral as well with his clearance off the line, and there's a lot of press about him, so he's doing pretty well. Varane, bit of a letdown recently, and Alaba, I don't know how this guy never won Best Defender on Saturday. A goal and an assist in a dominant Bayern Munich victory. He finished third or something like that, and the guy who finished top, I can't remember who it was now, it was a nobody, but I was just baffled. And sometimes the scoring matrix, as much as I understand it, it still can baffle me at times when you've got somebody at left back scoring and making an assist. It's just anyway, I digress. But we're basically at the end of a little chapter, guys. If you've been following this series, you'll know when we started it, we initiated it on a Friday, which is the worst time to buy people for matchday dividends because everyone else has already done it on like the Monday or the week before or something. And then when the news broke with Football Index of how the platform was going to evolve over the summer and whatever, we decided to accelerate the second stage of the squad. So we kind of sold people. We picked our time. We sold pretty well, made some good profit, don't get me wrong, but we kind of accelerated it, and we've definitely missed out on IPDs on guys like Guerrero, Wijnaldum, Andy Robertson. So we could have made a little bit better on the first iteration of this, unfortunately, but we still made some good profit. We rolled over. So I've been doing some maths on this, how we're kind of sitting now as we come to the final hurdle. Okay, now we started this kind of portfolio like segment with an initial outlay. I forget exactly what it was, but it was somewhere in the region of £200, maybe £220, something like that. And then when I personally cleared out my portfolio at the end of the phase 1 promotion, I withdrew like £1,300. We had some massive dividends coming in from Hazard, Van Dijk and Sterling. We reinvested some of those and I withdrew some money anyway. So I topped it up to the level you see it at now. And if you look at the principles again here, we've adhered to all of this, stringently. I've also got here all the goals that have been scored and all the dividends that we've had, everything. And to date, it totals £9.54, which by itself covers the commission on selling the portfolio as it sits in terms of the FIFA side of the portfolio. The IPDs have covered the commission on it, so then it's just capital appreciation, it's just sheer profit then. But I've went did all the maths kind of off screen just so you can see. So at the moment, including those IPDs we've got of 954, the portfolio is sitting at a moment of being worth £442.94, which means we are just under 9% up, which is a lovely position to be in. Okay, bearing that in mind, again, some of the positions we're in. Koulibaly is on a nice high, so is Denzel. Raphael Varane's on a down. Kante's at a nice price. Alaba's been higher in the last week. Brandt has fell off a cliff, and he can be more expensive if we hold him longer, and if the news starts to come back round that he might leave. Depay's in a good position. Nicolas Pepe's been slightly higher recently. Singer has been slightly higher recently. So is SMS, and we're happy with the hair. So with the position the portfolios are sitting in individually, half and half of them are in a fair to good position, and half of them are in a fair to not fair position, if that makes sense. So for us to be about 10% up roughly, I know I'm being a bit generous here, just under 9%, right? With the starting this segment at a bad time, number one, in terms of the day of the week, a Friday, and then number two, having to accelerate the strategy to meet the demands of the changing landscape on Football Index, I think we're doing really well. And I think the next iteration, the next squad that will appear from when we start to move these guys on, whenever that might be, will look pretty attractive. So yeah, all well and good, guys. There's going to be a big announcement from Football Index tonight at 6 o'clock. There's not going to be a market shutdown around it, which makes me think it's going to be something, a modification. You know, they might just increase dividends, you know, from 5 pence on a treble to 6 pence, or, you know, whatever. They might, what was the other thing I was thinking? They might just be releasing a raft of IPOs, because there's not been IPOs for a while. There's my bloody Mo again. Better go phone her back when I'm done with this. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be any significant changes in terms of, you know, like before, when they do an announcement and they freeze the market, it's the share split, it's media madness, it's significant changes to the landscape that need for the market to be frozen, so no one gets an unfair advantage. So I think this is just going to be something that's either news for something coming on in the horizon, or a slight modification to something that's here existing, guys. Okay, if you're new around here, guys, like, share, subscribe, retweet, all that good stuff. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next video, which might be a reaction one tonight. If not, it'll be the People's Portfolio on Friday. If you don't know what the People's Portfolio is, go and check the last episode of the new to Football Index Start Here playlist, and you'll find out all you need to know about that, guys. Thanks again. Catch you on the next one. Bye bye.